Hey, how you doing, friend of me? Shout out to the 757. We're talking local league agendas today. We're talking about the rule meeting update. If you guys weren't there last week, we met together, we did some voting, and we just want to update you. But also, before we get to the updated news about our draft and some of the rules, we want to welcome back Leroyce to the league, man. Is
Big Leroyce.
Dinner rolls. You have to be in the league to know that whole inside joke. And then my twin brother, Mike, all the way up in Indiana, welcome in. He's been on the show before. He listens all the time. He calls himself the better Sean Rock, but let's hold that down. But he's already trash talking me. But welcome, guys. Leroyce, welcome back. Mike, welcome to the best fantasy league in the country. All right?
Yeah, we had to fight hard for you there to get you back in this league. If you want to blame anyone why it took so long, it was David's fault.
David.
All kidding aside, though, thank you, David, for at least allowing us to make this happen, because I'm excited. I think the 12 team is more of the standard, and going to that 6-team playoff is the other thing we'll just kick right off and talk about. We're now going to have a 6-team playoff.
Yes.
Used to be, 4. This is a pretty traditional thing. When you move up to a 12-team league, you're going to go to that 6-man instead of having the 4. The cool part about it is you're going to get that first round bye now. So in the towards the end of the season, you're going to actually have something to play for. If you got that first or second seed, you will be getting a first week bye. So automatic win of your first week of the playoffs, which I think is pretty sweet.
And everybody's a little more in it. I think it extends the excitement a couple more weeks to know if you're going to be that 5th or 6th seed getting in.
Yep.
Instead of just the top 4.
And then another change we had was the defensive scoring. So I'm not going to run down all the details of it.
Also, a lot of details.
Yeah. We had mathematician David help us figure out what might mathematically work.
He was throwing up like scenarios. You were jotting down things. An hour later, we found out what we wanted.
Yeah. So basically, just to sum it all up, what it's done is I think we've dropped the ceiling of a defense and the floor of a defense. So you really shouldn't be getting negative points unless you get scored over 50 points on you. The high end is probably going to be more like a 15-point to 20-point game rather than, we had a few hit the 30s, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So it's just going to kind of take away that variance a little bit. I think it's a better way. And then also, just to transition into the next little scoring change, we did kickers. We're going to change those from all regular field goals will be 2 points, and then over 50 will be 3 points.
And extra points are 1 point?
Yep, just traditional 1 point.
Well, 3, 2, 1, okay.
We just wanted to get rid of, we had 4 and 5 for 40 and 50 yards, and that just was making kickers like the same thing. You getting 20-something point games from kickers. And famous Houston Texan kicker there.
No one can remember his name, Farabon, something, I can't remember. We just know him as the Houston kicker that gets 20 points.
Yeah. And then just keep going down this list here for you guys who were looking at full point. It really wasn't a lot of us. Tim brought it up, and then he also squashed his own argument afterward. His idea was that we would open up some more running backs if we went from half point to full point.
Right.
But what he found actually was there was, I think, one less running back in the top, and wide receivers became more prevalent, which is what I was kind of afraid of. So we're not going to do that. We're going to stick with half point. I think it's a perfect medium. You still get that reception pointage, but not the full point where it makes wide receivers so much more than a running back.
Exactly. And then, you were still outnumbering the band kickers. So we already talked about the adjustment of the kickers. But
we did the adjustment, but I'm working my way. I'm chipping away at them, just a little by little, hoping we can get these kickers out of here. So
then something near and dear to my heart, the waiver system.
Yes, the asterisk next to the 3-time champ here.
We call it the Chris on Championship Weekend rule.
So the waiver system, just a quick update for you guys that weren't in the league. We've gone to auction now, and when you have an auction league, you have the choice of either having auctions run daily, or you can have a one-time auction, and then the rest is just free game. And I kind of wanted a mix of that, where on Sunday mornings you could pick up anybody you want. That didn't really work because the system didn't allow it. I had to do it personally, and we ran into a lot of issues with, not a crazy amount, but the big one at the end.
The big one at the end during Christmas time.
Which affected the winner of the Super Bowl. So they're not going to do that again.
My bad, Joe.
I think we're going to just go to this. If it works as it's intended to work, what will happen is your Wednesday morning waiver will still go off. And as it always did, you bid on all your players. You will have to get ready for more scenarios. So like put all your backup plans in there. Like if you have, I might not get this guy, I might not get this guy, put them all on the same player that you'll be dropping. That way, if you do get them, you're not going to make that other waiver claim. So just little strategies like that. But the big thing is, after that first waiver runs, everybody's free game except for the players dropped. So as long as that except for players dropped rule applies, then I'm good with this new system, because I don't want people just having to get on at 6 a.m. trying to see who was dropped and pick them up before everybody else does. But
Yeah, so people who don't know, when that player dropped during the week, especially after that first waiver period, they have their own waiver tag. So it'll tell you that they're available at certain days. So you have to just put in your fab money. When we talk auction, that's your fab money that you're putting down. And I think it's great. It's a great compromise.
yeah, I think it actually might be fun.
It might be fun going in there.
You get the breaking news, and if ESPN hasn't put them on waivers yet, then you can get in there quick and get some backup that all of a sudden now is relevant.
Yeah, David waking up at 4 a.m. again, checking his waiver
Ruining David's
claims.
life, right?
Yeah, he's like, he's got kids. He wakes up that time anyways. But what else we got there, Kamish?
All right, and then draft order here. So I'll probably post this on the Facebook and in the chats here, but just a quick little run through of what the draft order is going to be. I know you guys are going to start looking at mocks and stuff, and you're going to want to know where you're picking at. So we do reverse order, and then the playoffs are decided by the person who gets second and third. They'll play a play-in game to choose which draft pick they want. So I'm assuming Ryan's won that game and is going to pick the higher draft pick.
Right.
And so I've given him that. And then the two new guys, unfortunately, guys, you're not starting with keepers, and we're putting you at the end of the list. So we're going to make you work for it to get back in here.
You do get to turn around.
Yeah, you'll get the turn. You'll get, and actually, to tell you the truth, we're all keeping. And then I think Morgan is the only one who's going to be first round picking. So you're going to get a player list that I'll kind of go over, that you'll get to choose 2 players out of like the top 5. So.
Yeah.
Draft order. First is going to be Morgan. Second's going to be Andy. Third's going to be Tidewater Turtles, Daniel Kalana. Then we got Phil. Then we got me, of course, in the 5th spot, where I am every single year.
Every single year.
David at 6. Ryan at 7. Tim at 8. Joe at 9. And then the champ at 10.
What's up, Joe?
And then we got our new guys. This order will probably flip-flop. I've got to come up with actually, you guys get in here and figure this out, because I don't want to spend time on
I actually
this.
like how you got it here. So we got 11 at Mike, and we got 12 at Leroyce. So to me, let Leroyce get the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Being the returning guy. So it's almost good to be on that 12 spot. Yes, Mike gets 1 spot at 11.
Yeah,
But honestly,
he'll get top 2 of those 3. So
right, and so then let Leroyce get 2 picks back to back.
Yeah.
And then we can go that way.
yeah, we can. I mean, if you guys want
to,
to chime in, if you listen to this, Leroyce and Mike, which you should.
we're testing. You're on probation.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Probationary status.
if we don't see your download in our thing, then you're get out of the league. No.
You got to be subscribing, commenting.
Yeah, so just get in there and comment if you guys are cool with that order, or if one of you prefers the opposite and you want to go with that. If not, we may go to a coin toss or some type of thing like that. But for now, that's what it's going to be. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the keepers here. I have gone through, especially for the new guys, I went around and kind of asked league mates who people are planning on keeping, so that you guys can start getting a list of who you're going to be looking at. I know that's going to shape a lot of your draft strategy if you know who you're going to be picking. So I will release this list. I'm not going to even read through it now, but I'll release the list here. We have an idea.
I was having a first round pick until I voted yes, and we have a 12-man league, and then my Todd Gurley went to a first round pick. I was like, darn it.
I know. I had the same thing. Julio was on the edge at 10, and I was hoping with the holdout he would drop to 11, and I'd be out of the first round.
And then with 12, we're like, you're in, but it's okay.
Yeah. So then last thing here, the player pool. I'm going to give you the top 10 guys that are going to be available if the keepers that everybody said stay. Now, obviously, that's very subject to change. But just kind of to give you guys an idea of what we're looking at, players available this year. Melvin Gordon is at the top of the list here.
Yeah.
Because of the holdout. I know he might even drop way lower than that if it continues. I'm scared to death. On the main podcast, you might hear us talk about that. So Melvin Gordon, Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, Mike Evans. That's kind of the top tier. So I think really with those 4, you've got a good... Now, of course, Morgan come in here and take one of these, and then you guys have to scrounge for that 4th spot. But
yeah.
I think really with those are all viable keepers. Like, you're looking at top 10 wide receivers all right there with Tyreek, Juju, and Mike Evans, I think. So You can definitely build a team around him, I think.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking here, you're definitely going to go kind of a receiver running back combo.
Yeah.
On that back end with Mike and Leroyce here. I mean, getting the Juju's awesome. Mike Evans, always underrated. It's never his fault. It's always a quarterback.
And he's got Arians coming in, so.
All right, thank you, frenemies, for listening. Like, subscribe, share this podcast with your friends, your neighbors, and your grandmothers. Until next time, see you later.